G'day, cards! Welcome to episode 24, I think. I'm pretty sure I fucked up the last week's episode with the Neckbedia. So I'm pretty sure this week's 23. But, who are you cunts? It's been a bit. Well, it's been a bit for me, mostly because I took a week off doing the potty, and then immediately recorded the one with Neckbedia. And that was mostly because I was working on set that weekend, and I'm actually trying to get ahead this time. I'm actually currently recording this on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. I've probably got about an hour or so before I'm going to head off to gym, so hopefully I should be able to get through with that. But I've got plenty of topics to go through, so hopefully I should be able to get it to a nice full-length hour. If not, I just realized I've got like 70 comments or something like absolutely retarded of questions I gotta get through as well. Just realized I skipped the normal intro. I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be one of those potties this week. But oh man, I'm not fucking editing out these goddamn coughs. Oh, it's getting bad. I'm still on the tail end of being sick, if you fucking haven't realized. But oh man, the week that I skipped the potty, fuck me up, cunt. Whatever the fuck I had, really, like, knocked me out. Not, like, knocked me out as in, like, unconscious, but, like, I was actually, like, bedridden, and I had no energy to do anything. I had no appetite. I was so fucking sick, and I ate so less? That doesn't sound right. I ate so little things over the span of like 4 to 5 days. I lost 3 kilos in less than a week because I just ate nothing. I ate like 1 meal a day basically. I don't know how the fuck or what the hell my body was going through. But I mean, like, I don't know if I want to go through that again. But man, it's a fucking quick way to lose weight. It's just get really fucking so sick that you get bedridden and you can't move. But, I don't know, it's fucking... And basically, I couldn't talk because I was just constantly coughing. And I just had, like, a lot of pain in the back of my throat because I get tonsillitis pretty regularly. I think it's a pretty common thing. Basically, my tonsils get inflamed a couple times a year and, you know, just gets hard to fucking talk. And then, you know, the mucus starts to form down the back of your nose. And then that starts to irritate your throat with the mucus going down the back of your throat. And then just all escalates and just makes it more fucked. But, I don't know. I wasn't sick, like vomiting sick. It was just like draining of energy sick. But, because I was like that fucking sick as well, and I couldn't really do anything. All I could really do was like watch media, and like play some video games. Even then, I didn't have quite the reflexes that I would usually. But, I actually watched Lord of the Rings for the first time, which is hilarious because I've seen the entirety of the Hobbit trilogy, and I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so I guess I saw it in the right order? But I don't know, that's like saying you're watching Star Wars, you haven't seen Star Wars before, and you watch the prequels first, and then you watch episodes 4, 5, and 6. Like, is that the right order? I mean, like, chronologically, in the timeline, yes, but is that a good way to watch it? Because, I mean, I'm immediately getting off topic here, but if you're watching Star Wars, if you're watching the prequels first, then you have the whole fucking reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's father. And, like, apparently that, like, you know, fucking blew people's minds back in the day. I'm actually not drinking water today, by the way, before people ask. I'm actually sipping on the remainders of a little V-can. I don't know, I'm trying to cut down on more sugary sort of stuff, and, I used to have, like, every now and then, or every couple of days, like, the big fucking mother cans. So now, like, I'm just trying to downgrade myself to, like, the smaller V-cans. And have those every now and then, because, you know, your boy needs a little bit more energy, because he still doesn't have his full fucking energy back yet. But, yeah, I haven't actually seen the last one yet. I mean, they're fucking 3 hours long, cunt. I mean, I have time, but I don't have that kind of time of the day. And they're also the theatrical cuts. They weren't the extended edition because, I'd probably still be watching it. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I really thought of it, to be honest. It's like, I knew everything that was going to happen and everything like that. Because, I mean, it obviously, Oh, I wonder if that picked up that fart. God, I hope it did. I mean, I knew everything that was going to happen, and I knew all the twists and everything like that. But, I mean, it still holds up pretty well. And, like, a lot of that CGI, I'm pretty sure this came around sort of the same time. And let me just do a quick Google, because that's the kind of podcast this type it is. I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings came out around the same time as Phantom Menace. I just type in Lord came. Lord of the Rings. When did that come out? 2001. Oh, this might be close. Phantom Menace. When did that come out? 1999. Fucking close enough, dude. So what, like 2 years apart? Yeah. Honestly, the CGI in Lord of the Rings, I think, holds up so much fucking better than some of the early Star Wars stuff. Especially with the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. But, oh man. Now one of my nostrils, like only one of them, is starting to clog up. And I'm already starting to get a bit of that nasally shit. And I don't know why. I didn't have this before. It just suddenly happened. My body's like, yep, I'm just gonna fill this up. Hold on there, mate. Don't know what the fuck I'm just saying. I'm rambling. I don't know. See, so I get people every now and then that are like, hey, why don't you get like a permanent like guest or like host on your podcast? And I don't know. I don't really want one, to be honest. Like, I'm just quite happy here, like, talking away to myself. It's almost like a bit of therapy and just like recaps for myself. Like, I'm never gonna fucking listen back to them. Ever, probably. I doubt it. I don't have that kind of fucking time. But, it's also just like, I can do this, where it's like, recorded on a Thursday night to have it released for fucking Sunday. If I'm trying to record it with someone, like Nick Bedia, for example, who lives in fucking Ireland, like, it's so much of a bastard to organise that sort of stuff, or even, like, all the other guests I've had are American, the literal opposite time zones, and trying to organise that's a fucking bastard. And then obviously you want to, like, make a time, and schedule in a time and stuff, and then trying to convert that, whereas if it's just, like, you just fucking turn it on, and away you go. As long as you've got, like, topics and whatever the fuck. But, yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings is fine, I guess. I don't know, it's not as mind-blowing as it probably would be, like if I was a child or whatever. But I don't know, for some reason, like, the reason why I hadn't seen Lord of the Rings until now was because I had, like, an unjustified hate for it. And I don't know why. I don't know why I did. It's just, I just have, like, memories of, in, like, early primary school, where there was a Lord of the Rings, like, picture book, and I just remember looking at the fucking, like, cover and the poster, and it just, like, annoyed me, and just, like, couldn't give less of a shit about it. I'm like, it looks fucking gay, and I've just never fucking watched it. And it was like that with Batman for majority of my life, too, and it wasn't till, like, I don't know, late teens, early late teens, that I actually, started reading some of the Batman comics and stuff. And I'm like, it's actually this pretty cool character. But, yeah, I don't know why. Just hadn't seen it until now. And I don't even played the Middle-earth games, which, let's talk about that. Fuck it, it's not on my list, but sure. Listeners of the podcast would, remember that, I got absolutely triggered by fucking Shadow of War, because I got shipped a box with no discs in it. I paid shipping for a fucking empty box with a goddamn piece of paper with a code on it. And it would turn out to be 90 gigabyte download file that I couldn't, like, chop down or anything. I just got fucked. And just had to deal with it. And so I finally finished it. Although not really finished it. Because it turns out that at the end of the game, once you defeat Sauron and whatever the fuck... well, actually, no. To defeat him, you have to... It goes into this weird, like, endgame thing, where once you capture all 4 major fortresses, you have to then defend them all. And when you have to defend them, the opposing orcs are, like, 10 levels higher than you. And then every time you defend it, it goes to the next level. And there's 10 levels. So every time you defend a fortress, the levels go higher by 10. And so by, like, the third one, the fucking orcs are, like, 20 levels higher than me and just fucking one-shot me. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, so I just Googled it and people were like, yeah, this is shit. And then I just looked up the ending on YouTube, and it's like a 3-minute thing that kind of just... It literally wraps up the story and just ties it into Lord of the Rings. And I thought this was supposed to be a trilogy of games, but nope. Talion's the main character's story is just fucking wrapped up. He's dead. Like, dead for good this time. He ain't fucking coming back. So, don't know what's happening with that franchise. You know, the Nemesis system's cool. But fuck me, they fucked the ending a bit. Jesus, dude. I don't know whether they didn't, like, you know, plan ahead or anything, or they just tried to stretch it too hard, like they did with the Hobbit trilogy, now that I'm looking back on it. That's that community. V-burp. What else did I have in my little fucking bits of topics? Oh, yes. So, not last week, but the week before, I also had my first ever short film screening of a film that I've worked on in a cinema before, which was so fucking cool, and also so much of a fucking hassle at the same time. Basically, the cinema that we had, like, it was a little indie sort of cinema type thing. I'm actually going back there tomorrow for another one of my friends' short film screenings, and then next week I'm going back again to that same cinema for another short film that I fucking worked on. So it's like all happening at once at this point. But this one was the one that I edited, and of course, being the editor, the director came to me and he's like, hey, so I want to put it into a cinema. The cinema needs this specific format. And I'm like, oh, fucking here we go. Because I remember a while ago, the YouTube channel, what are they fucking called? Sugar Pine 7. They did a short film ages ago called, well, not ages ago, it was like last year. Maybe it was this year. I think it was this year. Called The Woods. And they did the same thing where they screened it in a cinema. But their cinema requested a specific format that all programs just, they don't have. And it's a plugin that you have to buy. And this plugin costs $1,000. Or you could pay someone to render it for you for like a couple $100. So you just get fucked because, like, you just don't have this format. And that's what I thought was going to happen here. And I'm like, oh, fucking here we go. But nope. The, what format was it? I think it was like CBJ or something like that. Or like Cinema Broadcast something or other. But yeah, it turns out that the format that they wanted was built directly into Adobe Premiere. And I'm like, fucking job done. And yeah, it took like an hour to rendered it out in like the CinemaScope type thing. And yeah, worked fine. Upscaled it to 2K. Resolution looked fucking perfect. But yeah, so went to the cinema and watched that. And that was pretty fucking cool. Because, you know, used to seeing this fucking thing on my own screens in my bedroom literally the entire time. So to see it in the cinema with people watching is just a fucking weird feeling, man. Like, I was mostly... Because I'd seen it so many fucking times because I'm the editor. I'm the one that put the fucking thing together. Along with the director. So, like, I seen it enough I could fucking, like, you know, record it word for word. So I was watching other people watching the film. And just, like, watching their reactions to certain, like, scenes and shots that I knew were coming up. But also at the same time, it's like, the screening was just, like, immediate crew that worked on it. And, like, you know, extended families and other people that wanted to come onto it. but it's hard to get actual feedback because obviously people that worked on it have a fucking bias, and people that know the friends and family aren't gonna say, "Oh, that was absolutely fucking horrid. I regret watching this and spending time and money to come here." They're just not gonna say that. So it's just like, there wasn't any like awkward interactions. People like were obviously trying to say like, I think we got some like genuine reactions, but again, you can't get an actual reaction until you just put it out into the public, because immediate people that they're just gonna kiss your ass, and you're not gonna get actual feedback. So it's tricky with that sort of stuff. So again, like I've mentioned before, can't really show any of these because they're gonna go on their film festival runs, and that won't be till next year because all of the film festival close-offs were like halfway through this year and missed the window for all those. So by next year, I'm gonna have like 4 films in film festival runs, and I'll be fucking set, dude. Well, hopefully, just so I can be like, hey, look, I worked on an award-winning film. But, yeah, so that was pretty fucking cool, to be honest. I'm keen to, like, have more shit in my own cinemas soon. But, more fucking film stuff. Been busy with fucking film stuff lately. That's, but you can't tell, because I schedule all my uploads. Oh, fuck. I'd also just eaten dinner, too. And I always try and avoid recording right after I eat, because I always feel bloated, and it's always kind of hard to talk, but this is the only real time that I can really record the potty. So I just have to fucking... just have to fucking deal with it, to be honest. But, the past 2 weekends have also been on set, and the first day that we had... I can't remember if I've talked about this. I don't think I have, because I'm pretty sure that was the week that I was sick. But basically... the first day, I was the film armorer, which the armorer is the person that supplies weapons to sets. Now, they originally in the pre-production meetings, they're like, there's a scene at the end where a main character has a gun and shoots someone in a place. That's all I'll say. So they're like, oh, well, he obviously makes guns and all his like replicas and 3D print stuff. And so I had like this toy gun that you can buy online for like $10. It shoots little rubber bullets, but it's actually just garbage at actually shooting little projectiles. Majority of the time, if you load stuff into it, it'll either just fall out of the barrel, or it might shoot like maybe 30 centimeters and then just like drop, which is perfect for a film set because all you really need is like the slider to be able to pull back, the mag be able to put in, and the trigger to be able to pull, and that was fucking fine. But also, we were inside at the time shooting like a band sort of, well, in the scene, it's like the aftermath is the word I was looking for. I knew there was an after in there somewhere. It was the aftermath of like a band playing, so there was a bunch of people like hanging around afterwards. And we had about 20 extras on set. And I pulled the producer aside and I'm like, hey, have you actually like mentioned to the extras that there's going to be like a replica gun on set? And he's like, oh, no, I should probably go do that. And then he came back and he's like, hey, some of them are pretty worried. Do you want to just go and like comfort them? So I went and fucking took out my little case, because obviously I'm not going to fucking transport a gun in my backpack. It's not America. I can't walk around with a fucking gun. I'll get fucking arrested or shot if I did that. So I take it out there with my foam carry case that isn't marked. And I showed them the gun, and I'm like, hey, it's a toy. It's not capable of firing blanks. You're not going to get blinded. There's no actual risks here. And then, I give them a little demo. I'm like, look, it makes a slight pop. And I just, like, pull the slider back, and it just goes click. And that's fucking it. Doesn't make a deafening noise. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then one extra's like, oh, I've been on, like, a film set with actual guns firing blanks. I'm like, cool. Good on ya. And yeah, then they, once I showed them that, it was a toy that was just repainted, they weren't so nervous anymore. But, yeah, that was like a whole different thing, because being an armor on set, and especially in Australia too, is a lot more, you have to be a lot more wary. Like, my job that day was keep your eye on the fucking gun at all times. And if it's not in someone's hands, it's in my case. Because, like, we were shooting at my old university. And granted, it wasn't a weekend where there wasn't any students or anything. But the last thing you want is someone to walk in when someone's, like, holding a gun while we're shooting something. And then they actually fucking freak out and call the cops. And then they show up and they'll be like, oh, okay, this is a fucking waste of time. But, yeah, so I had to basically watch and, you know, if the actor needed to walk out of the room, I'd make them give me the gun back and I'd hold on to it and everything. And then give it back to them once they're back on set and everything. But yeah, that's basically just my job that day was to, like, fucking keep an eye on that goddamn weapon and make sure it didn't leave that room or my line of sight at all. Oh, man. Fuck me, what did I do this after dinner? Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys, about your fucking ears and just me destroying with my coughs, but I just can't be fucked editing that out. I just don't have time this fucking week, man. I'm supposed to record another batch of videos this week. I should be good for next week, but usually I try and do longer ones every Monday and Friday. I think I got one longer one going up on Monday, but I don't have one going up next Friday, I think. I'll have to double check. Oh no, I've got one going up this week. And I think I got another I don't think I have another longer one going up on Monday. So that one might just be a normal day, because I literally don't have time. Because I'm on set tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I basically just start on the actual edit for the film, because it's got like 4 weeks. Yeah, from like, I don't know, when was it? I think from the actual last day of shooting, we have 4 weeks to actually get the final edit together, which is, you know, kind of an insane schedule, but whatever. And it's also a bit more insane because it's a 45-minute film. And oh man, I have started on the edit. We've shot, I think there's 30 something scenes. We have 5 at the moment, I think, and I've started editing 2. The other ones kind of have a bit of problems here and there, and I literally cannot edit them because I need to get some other departments to do some stuff. So I'm like, oh fuck, because I thought I'd do more editing today, but I literally hit a roadblock and I couldn't. So I'm like, alright, well, I'll go and do some other stuff. Which, that other stuff included, my first Warhammer set arrived today, actually. And that actually worked out quite well, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I planned my day around editing that thing, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't think I'd finish it this quick. And so my Warhammer fucking, little kit arrived, which, I don't know, people probably don't give a shit. But my friend has been trying to get me into Warhammer for a while, and it's always put me off when, like, trying to build an army and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to try and, you know, fill out shit, until he recommended me this thing called Strike Team, which is basically, like, you know, a $50 maybe thing, max, of, like, worth of models, and you just play with, like, 10 of them, or something like that. And, you know, I like to give the game a try, and, you know, I love fucking doing props and stuff, so it's right up my fucking alley. Put together a couple little models today. It's good fun. No idea how to paint them though, because I don't have any paints. Any model paints. It's all just spray paints or acrylic paints. Might do a couple test paints with bits that I don't want to use, but I have no idea how that'll fucking go. So that was a nice way to just, like, you know, chill. Just put together a couple models and just, you know, be a bit creative with it and with the poses or whatever the fuck I'm doing. I haven't coughed this month. I just had a fucking stroke. I haven't coughed this much all day, and it's not until I'm fucking recording the podcast where I'm just going into a fucking fit. God fucking damn, dude. Oh, yes. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about it, though, is, like, I am so fucking hype for goddamn Cyberpunk 2077. And one of my best friends is, like, I don't know whether he's, like, trying to be skeptic about it, or he just sees the fact how hyped I am, and he's got a heap of doubts by it. But he also hasn't played The Witcher 3, so I think that's his main fucking problem here. He doesn't understand the scope of CD Projekt Red and what the fuck they do. And, like, he watched a little bit of the new Cyberpunk, like, gameplay walkthrough that came out. And he's like, well, it's just a reskin to, like, Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4. And I'm like, cunt. What? And it's weird, because this fucking cunt's doing games design and games programming. And he's fucking saying Cyberpunk 2077 looks like a Fallout fucking reskin. And I'm like, do you know anything about games? Do you play... What are you doing? I think you should just quit your industry if you fucking... those words came out of your mouth. Cunt. It looks nothing like fucking Fallout. The only thing that looks the same is it's first person. It has guns. That's about where the similarities end. Cause, man, like, Blade Runner is probably one of my favorite franchises of all time. First one, mediocre. 2049, cinematic masterpiece, in my opinion. And I just really love, like, the whole, like, cyberpunk dystopian future sci-fi, like, sort of thing. And so this is right up my fucking alley. Especially with, again, like I said, CD Projekt Red. No one's fucking forcing them to hit, like, a release date. They're literally the last trailer. It just said, release date, whenever it's ready. Like, can you imagine fucking EA, like, doing that with Battlefront? They're like, there's no release date. We're not happy with it yet. They're just like, fuck you, you're putting it out now. Also, we need 4 DLC packs, at least, to release. Go. And they're like, fuck! And then it comes out, like, half broken. Because that's what happens every time when you rush your developers. But then also, at the same time, you could also face, like, I mean, like, I don't know how many of you guys do any sort of creative work. But, like, even with, like, films and stuff, like, you could edit a film, for example, like, I mean, this is, obviously, I'm going to use an example of a thing that I do. I could sit there and edit a film for literally forever, trying to make it perfect and, you know, change bits and pieces, trying to see what works and what doesn't, just trying to improve it. But there just has to be a point where you step away from it and just go, close enough. And, I don't know when Cyberpunk's gonna hit that, I guess. Because, like, surely they have, like, a sort of window of, like, maybe that year we might aim for. Because, yeah, you could just literally be working on it forever. Because, you know, someone might be like, hey, this call system would like to implement. And then, you know, this one new system fucks everything. Because you have to make it work with everything else and try and balance it. Like, I was watching the new trailer, and then I see that just, like, oh yeah, here's a new mode. This bullet bounces off the wall 3 times and hits him in the head. And I'm like, fucking what, cunt? I'm just like, I was so, like, mind-blown with some of the fucking systems that they have there already. And just, like, the fact that it looks like a world that's actually been lived in. And, like, probably that and Witcher are probably probably my favorite ones that actually look like they lived in. It look like there's actual people there. Watch Dogs comes sort of close. Watch Dogs 2, I feel like, fell off a lot from the first one. I don't have as fond... Well, I feel like I enjoyed Watch Dogs 1 compared to 2. I haven't finished 2 yet. But, like, there just seems to be a lot of weird fucking dumb decisions in 2. I don't know what the fuck, but, like... Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, Cyberpunk. Yeah, oh man. And I just can't fucking wait till, like, some of the more Cyberpunk stuff comes out, because, man, I want to make fucking all of those weapons, man. They all look so fucking cool. I want them fucking all, dude. Because, I can make them, because I have a 3D printer. I have 3D printers. Yeah. I think that's about everything that I wanted to talk about on my little thing. Yeah. Alright, so let's get into questiones then, I guess. Let me fucking bring up my goddamn channel. But while I'm doing that, I will do my little spiel about the thing. So, if you don't know, this is the most artistic part of the podcast, where people can submit questions to me, either by email or by posting a comment on my community tab. And there'll be a post there sometime next week where you can post questions on that. Just readjusting myself. Fucking usually I have this like ready to go, but just today I just don't. Community, there we go. Oh fuck. Yeah, there we are, 71 comments. See, I don't know why this worked out. Or what the fuck went on here. Because the one from a couple weeks ago, it says, it's like, hey, give me some questions that aren't shit, and it has 114 likes. And then the one with Neckbeard Cave got more likes, but it has 24 comments. And the one with the less likes got 71 comments. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I'm also not going to put up people's names on the screen. I'll read your name, but I just don't have time to fucking go through them all. So, yeah. Lucas the King says, what is your goal as a YouTuber? Well, at the moment, my main goal is to, like, just grow the channel, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the main reason I do this is because of the money, and it's making me an income at the moment, and it's almost, I've said this heaps of times, it's almost look at this more as like a job that comes with, like, a weird, like, social media following to it. But yeah, my main goal is, just grow the channel and just, make me money, I guess. Large Tumor asks, where's my dad? He's probably still on the server, mate. He's probably just getting a pack of ciggies. He'll be back soon. That was so cancer. Why did I do that? Dank Meme Lord asks, what was the Great Emu War? So I'm not going to look up anything off the... I'm not going to look up any... I'm fucking... Whoa, just a stroke again. I am not going to look up anything. I'm just going to try and recite it off the top of my head. So basically, I want to say the 70s or 60s or something like that. In a rural country town, there was a huge overpopulation of emus. And they're becoming real big fucking pests, eating crops and all that sort of shit. And the people demanded the government do something about it. So they put out, like I think in America, I mean, I know nothing about hunting because I don't do any hunting. But I'm pretty sure if you want to hunt, you have to get, like, tags or something like that. But yeah, when they had that, they just fucking removed it. They're just like, yeah, go shoot an emu. We'll pay you $100 for every emu corpse that you give us. People are like, fuck yeah. And still did, like, nothing in the emu population. So they gave these 3 military personnel an armored truck. Oh no, I think it was armored. I think it was like a ute. It was 2 utes with machine guns attached to them, and they gave them 50,000 bullets, and they're like, go nuts. But what they didn't realize is that emus clumped together are just giant fucking bullet sponges, and they did nothing. They killed barely any fucking emus with these 50,000 bullets that they were gifted. And yeah, the emus fucking killed a couple people. And so from then on, the emus had defeated the people in the Great Emu War. And yeah, that's the Great Emu War. Juan Diaz says, were you always comfortable with your voice? I don't know how to write comfortable. Close enough. You said it right on the last one. Yeah. Comfortable with my voice. I don't know. I think it's more if I just don't give a shit, and I'm just like, there's nothing I can really do about my voice. Well, I mean, like, I could smack, like, fucking 10 packs of cigarettes a day, and then I could sound like Alex Jones! But I just don't want to smoke or anything like that, or just want to inhibit my voice. So it's just like, just deal with it, and I just don't give a shit. It is, like, more higher pitched than I'd like it to be, but, just... I can't do anything about it. I mean, I'm fucking 20 years old at this point. I guess I'm just fucking stuck with this voice at this point. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't give a shit. I don't think it's more of like a comfortability thing. You just have to deal with it because it's just what you have. Jar of Hot Ice says, why don't you go to church on Sundays? Because I'm a sinner and I don't give a shit. I don't know. I went to a Christian or Catholic? I think it was a Catholic I went to a Catholic primary school and a Catholic high school. Not because, like, oh, religion. It's just, like, they seem to be the best schools. There's a lot of, like, religious schools in Australia. Yeah, I'm not religious in really any sort of sense. Like, I was really into Pastafarianism for a good bit, for a hot meme. I've got the I've got the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, sorry. Yeah, I just don't see the point of churches, to be honest. I do have, like, a friend who's, like, recently, becoming a little bit more religious, but it's almost like, because she struggles making friends, and she just wants more of the community. But, like, man, I just can't be fucked dealing with any sorts of church stuff, especially when all that fucking pedophile priest that recently came out that can't get fucking, like, charged. Because the statute of, whatever the fuck that is, they can't be charged because it's too long ago. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that too hard. Doggo Productions' second channel. I think I've made this joke before, but why is this your second channel? And where's your first channel? They say, do you need therapy? I mean, to be honest, I've been told that even if you don't think you need therapy, just go, because you can. And I don't know about health systems in America and everything like that, but we have Medicare here. And that's basically our healthcare system. So, like, I can go have free consultation with the doctor and whatever the fuck. And if you say that you're depressed and everything, you'd like a therapist or whatever the fuck, they can prescribe you, like, free therapy sessions. But, obviously you can't use that forever. But I don't think I particularly need it. This is almost my kind of therapy session where I can just, like, let out all of my shit that pissed me off this week, to be honest. I mean, I'm not talking to anyone directly, per se, although I am at the same time, so it's kind of a weird dynamic that I have going, but I don't know. I think I'm fine at the moment. Brooks Dickerson says, do you have a life? See, this is more of a weird question, because it's like, what constitutes a life, per se? And I know it sounds wanky, but fucking hear me out. It's like, if you're a basement dweller that doesn't leave, like, your computer and whatever the fuck, and you live with your parents, whatever the fuck, I'd consider that not really having a life. But, I mean, even if you have a deadbeat 9-to-5 job that you fucking hate, you still have a life. So, I don't know, I guess I have a life. I mean, I'm fucking self-employed, I'm doing my own shit, I'm enjoying it, so I guess I do. What the fuck, it's some other, like, foreign name, goddammit. I'm probably gonna butcher it. I think it's Simon Kowalski? I want to say. I probably nailed that, but I probably didn't at the same time. And he says, if you eat your own jizz for survival, is it gay? Yes. John Spade says, favorite porn website and porn genre? Well, favorite porn website, I'm pretty boring. Pornhub is usually my go-to for all sort of stuff. They got pretty nice categories and stuff. Favorite genre? It's a funny story. I've actually been getting into fucking VR porn, which is like a whole other fucking world and blows my goddamn mind. I got one of the Google Cardboard things, and fucking hell, dude. It's also, like, probably the worst way you could ever get, like, caught fapping is, like, with this fucking thing strapped to your head and headphones in, because you have fucking no idea, that people are looking at you. Ivana Sean says, which green text fucked you up the most? Well, it fucked me up in, like, a funny way the most recently. It was probably one of the latest ones. I can't remember what the fuck I even named it, because I have, like, so many fucking videos at this point. There's one where the dude's playing Overwatch, and he just, like, fucks it up. Or even just, like, a lot of those sorts of stories where the guy's just, like, don't know how to deal with women, and they just fuck up like their chance to like get the dick wet. Like those always like like fuck me up in a hilarious way, or just like you can hear me laughing in their fucking recording for fuck's sake. But like fucks me up in like emotional way. Probably the story of Frank fucked me up the most, because it probably had the most emotional ties to that. Like EB, the tale of EB probably fucked me up a little bit too. Because the suicide kind of came out of nowhere. But like, I don't know. Yeah, probably Frank, I'd say, out of the two. Pixel Cheesecake says, would you make a best of supercuts of your stories so your content is more long form? What does that mean? What? Are you asking if I would make, just get my best stories and then just make a compilation out of it? Is that what you're saying? Not make a compilation of green text that I haven't done, but make a compilation of green text that I have done and are already on my channel. What? No. Good old Cloaker Harriet Holwitzer says, okay, here's the question I have for this week's podcast. What kind of place would you like to travel to? Or where do you get the money to travel? Place that I'd like to travel to. I'd like to travel to Canada. That'd be a really fucking cool place to travel to, I think. One of my friends moved to Canada not too long ago. I think they've just been living there for about a year now. And just like a lot of the mountain pictures they've been posting and just like as they've been exploring are just fucking blowing my mind. But even just like, you know, the only other country I've been to is New Zealand, and that doesn't even fucking really count in Australia. It's basically an extension of Australia at this point, a more prettier version of Australia at this point. But I definitely would like to even go back to New Zealand, probably in the near future too. Mostly because like the times I went, I was like 10 years old or something like that, and I can barely remember it. And, you know, I'd like to go there and just, like, explore by myself, because even the times I went there, it was just there to visit family. It wasn't like we were going there on a holiday or anything like that. But, yeah, to go to there, nice to go to New Zealand to check out Hobbiton and just, like, a lot of the scenic places in New Zealand. Maybe I'll go check out Weta Workshop, maybe even get a fucking job there. Who fucking knows? I'm pretty sure that says now you know you, but whatever. It says, whom do you find thou green text? I think I've asked this so many times. I get it from like heaps of different places, dude. People send me green text all the time. I steal from our green text. I go to Google Images a lot, and I search from date published. I go through Imager a lot. You know, heaps of different places, man. It is pretty funny at this point though, because when I Google search stuff and search from like uploaded within the last week, a lot of the time the first couple of results are my own videos, and it's like, fuck, I'm trying to find new content, and my own content is coming when I search stuff. So it's pretty funny. But yeah. Dynamo Trinity asks, what part of Australia do you actually like? Well, I mean literally the coasts are about the only places that people go to or like live in. Basically in the middle is just a big fuck off zone that no one really lives there apart from like redneck farmers and whatever the fuck. But you know, I mean the place that I live, I guess, Queensland's pretty fucking cool. It's like the most touristy sort of destination. When most people come to Australia, they usually come to Queensland. Yeah. Malamese, I don't think he hasn't commented for a while, says, for whatever reason, Audacity cuts a lot of my audio when I'm recording something. Like it just doesn't capture. I'll have a lot of pocket of dead air. Is it my microphone or the program itself? Help, I can't read. I can guarantee you it's your mic. Because I've been using Audacity literally the entire time I've ever needed anything recorded on a microphone in my life, and I've never had a problem with it. It's always been on the microphone end. Yeah, man, it's I can guarantee you it's your fucking microphone. Like I've recorded shit off my phone. I don't know what I'm saying. I was about to say they're like, oh, I've recorded stuff off my phone microphone on Audacity. No, you haven't, you retard. Audacity is not on your phone. yeah, I can guarantee you, it's your hardware, man. The software is fucking fine. Sons of Venom says, what makes a question garbo? Mostly just, like, things that mean nothing. A lot of the just, like, fucking overused memes I just won't even acknowledge at this point, because then just, like, just by acknowledging it, it becomes more of, like, a running meme that people want to say. Like, recently, I just banned that cunt that always goes in my comments saying, like, oh, Metasu Hackening, it's the best anime, prove me wrong, fag lords, pro tip you can't. I just fucking banned him, because I banned the phrase, and then he just, like, changed it. So I just outright banned the cunt from my comments. So just, like, if you're listening, fuck you. If you do it again, I'll just ban you from my comments again. But yeah, I mean, you know, what makes a question garbo? Just don't be a fucking an edgy retard. I think that's a pretty good answer. End It All says, I really enjoyed the Daddy Ross video. Are you gonna do more like it? God, it feels asking a normal question. Yeah, definitely. Those sorts of videos definitely help a lot of just my creative thing and just a lot of my sanity of this channel, because, you know, I've mentioned it before, this isn't the most creatively fulfilling stuff that you could possibly make. So those sorts of videos every now and then will happen. Whenever I get a decent enough idea that I think's worth doing, I'll do them. But yeah, there'll definitely be more like it in the future. I just don't know what they'll fucking be at this point. Persian Yank says, are you willing to read Reddit posts that act similar to GreenCast posts? There are two stories I know called Tardnado and Tardcore up on Tardtales on Reddit. Just wondering. See, I don't know, because I think I've said this before as well. It's like I've kind of cornered myself calling myself Mr. GreenText. And I mean, obviously people will get triggered if I do anything else but GreenText, but I mean, people seem to be going alright with me doing the potty and everything else, so I don't know, probably not, to be honest, unless I'm doing like a meme for it or something, I don't know. I'll probably get a couple more questions in, and then I need to head off the gym. Tom says, if a hooker offered you a blowy for $10 or whatever stupid currency you have in Australia, fuck you, this almost, what is it, like 75 cents to US dollars, I think? Would you accept it or not? I mean, if they're not, like, you know, a fucking an ugly cunt, I mean, probably, to be honest. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, $10, man, like, everyone has, like, $10 to fucking spare. Well, not everyone, but I mean, like, you know, fuck it, why not? And last question is from Bip the Cat, and they say, would you rather have a furry roommate or a weeaboo rammate? What the fuck, I can't read. You gotta have a channel where I read stuff. Ironic. Probably a weeaboo roommate, because at least the furry roommate, if I had a weeaboo roommate, there'd be no chance of, like, you know, fucking yiffing going on in my fucking household that I fucking live in. If there's a weeaboo, I mean, who fucking knows, man. You could get a basement dweller, you could get some fucking nerdy chick. I don't know. I don't even watch anime, particularly. I watched Dragon Ball Super, I'm trying to catch up on that, but I refuse to watch the Japanese dub, so I'm trying to wait for the English dub. It's about the only anime that I fucking watch at this point. I just don't care. Not really so much for me. There's better actual TV than I want to watch. Yeah, I think I'll fucking call it there for this week. If you have any questions, comments, life stories, life advice, or any other stories that you think might be worth reading out in the potty, be sure to email me at Mr. Hiccup, not quite, at mrgreentext@gmail.com. That's Mr. Greentext with an S on the end of that. Or you can email me at, no, not email me, you can leave a comment on the community tab that will go up sometime next week, and I will go through that and try not to meme me too hard, because I'll just refuse to acknowledge it, and you'll be wasting your time, you'll be wasting my time. And the secret phrase for this week, ooh boy, what do I do? Let's make the secret phrase anime. Fucking What's the last anime you watched? What's your favorite anime? Do you even fucking watch anime like I do? Or I don't, I should say. Be sure to let me know in the comment down below. And, I will fucking catch you later, cunts.